What do you think of this view up here? Top of the terminal.
This view is absolutely amazing. It's a fabulous view.
Mike, thanks for being here with me on Gamechangers. January 14th, the big change. Your life is about to change. Has it sunk in yet?
Well, I really think I've spent my life preparing for this job. Starting as a county prosecuting attorney and every job I've held since then. Now's the opportunity to, really go out there and make a difference every day.
For the governor-elect, that difference begins with Ohio's children.
We're seeing these kids, show up to kindergarten just not ready. What our goal has to be, not just the government, but all of our goals has to be to try to get them to the starting line.
A starting line that begins within that critical window of development from 0 to 5.
The state has a program that only covers about 4% of the eligible moms.
DeWine's goal is to triple that coverage in year 1. That children are top of mind should come as no surprise.
When on your Twitter page and father of 8, grandfather of 23, that's the first thing that you see.
Fran and I do have 23 grandkids. Our 24th grandchild is due on February 1st.
Congratulations.
And so we're very excited about that. We have eight children. So I think a lot about the kids and what kind of a future are we outlining for them? What kind of opportunities are we giving them?
Another priority remains fighting Ohio's opioid epidemic and continuing the battle he started in court as Attorney General against drug companies and distributors.
You can't ever recapture those lives, but what we should insist from the drug companies is that they help clean up the mess that they created.
With Cleveland taking center stage.
Judge Polster, federal Judge Polster here in Cleveland, I think is doing an amazing job, a gutsy job.
DeWine knows he has work to do in Cleveland and Cuyahoga County, where he lost by more than 172,000 votes.
Whether people voted for me or didn't vote for me, I'm the governor for every Ohioan, and I need to act that way.
A pledge that frames his vision for cooperation with Mayor Jackson and county leaders and further to the White House. While Governor Kasich will be remembered for his criticism, DeWine hopes for better communication and respect.
It doesn't mean that I'm always going to agree with him or I'm going to always agree with any president, but it's a working relationship. I'm an Ohioan first. Sure. Ohioans elected me. I'm a Republican second. I think that's the right attitude, and I think that's the attitude, frankly, that people expect.
Before I let you go, though, I want to do a little something called rapid fire with you. Browns or Bengals?
Root for the Browns, except when they're playing the Bengals.
Okay, that's a good answer. I'll help walk you to the car. How do you like your chili?
I like it made by my wife.
Good answer. Finally, favorite Ohioan.
This is the year we're celebrating 50 years since Neil Armstrong went to the moon. How about Neil Armstrong?
I like it.
I think he's a great hero.
I think that's a great way to end it. Governor-elect,
thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. It was an honor. Thanks for being a game changer.
Good to be with you.
How has Cleveland Flea helped the city of Cleveland? How big has it been for the economy of Cleveland?
I'd say that we impact the economy in the millions every year, the local microeconomy.
Wow.
Definitely. Because people sell a lot of stuff at our markets.
It's a pop-up market in this parking lot at Tyler Village. April through October, it turns into this. Close to 200 vendors with up to 10,000 shoppers on the second Saturday of the month. Success hasn't come by accident, but not always in plain sight.
This is where the magic happens?
16,000 square feet of space where Sheldon and her staff of 6 can build, store, design, and organize the Flea. It takes a team of about 2 days to set up. When she started the Flea 5 years ago, there was no help, and prosperity came quickly. From 1,500 customers from the start of 2013 to 10,000 at the end. Business has doubled. Now, not only is the Flea booming, thanks to Sheldon's support, businesses like Cleveland Bagel, Mason's Creamery, and Brew Nuts have their own storefronts.
One of the missions I wanted from the very beginning was that we would change the landscape of the city.
How does that make you feel to hear that you've had an impact on an entire city?
I mean, it makes me feel great. It makes me feel like it's what I wanted to do. So there's a little bit of like, I intended that. How did that dream happen? And you know, I'm so happy that Cleveland can be a city where people who love it this much as I do, can actually have an impact. And I want everyone else to believe that, you know, they can do that too.
The final market of 2018 was last month, the Holiday Fleet inside the Madison, marking the end of 5 years for Sheldon, who is also a life and business coach and constantly on the move. She says it's time for a creative sabbatical.
I want to know now, not 5 years from now.
Sure.
What's the next thing that we're going to be talking about?
We'll have our own market. So we will be looking into real estate this year. We'll probably have our own bar and restaurant in there. We'll have a bunch of amazing businesses that set up shop there all the time. We'll have our own school for business owners.
How pumped up are you?
I'm like everybody starting anything new. I would call myself exhilarated, which is equal parts terror to equal parts excitement.
Bill Premer, a dreamer? Is that right?
Hard to argue, Bill Premer isn't living it. The dream has certainly come true at Highland. Just look at the now 3-building campus in Westlake, home to 2,200 employees and an inspiration to other companies. Highland is globally recognized as a leading software company, the largest in Ohio, one of Fortune's top 100 best companies to work for the last 6 years running, the 20th best workplace in technology for the 4th straight year.
You see that continue to happen. You know, what does that mean to you?
Last year, Premer saw 30,000 resumes for 300 jobs they filled. Who wouldn't want to play ping pong, shoot hoops, go to the spa, utilize the daycare, all while at work? They may be known for their flagship product, OnBase, but for those not so tech savvy, what does Highland do? Premer says plenty more customers need to be served. And remember, Preem the dream.
What is it that you want to see happen next for you guys? What's the next big thing to happen? You seem pretty excited. You up for a little rapid fire? What's your favorite restaurant? Favorite sports team? What's something about you that would surprise people? Favorite song to play? You're into water sports? I want to thank you, and all of Cleveland wants to thank you for being a game changer. How excited are you for this opportunity and to just, take this challenge on?
My goal here is to leave this place better than, where it is today.
Ren Camacho has big plans for Akron-Canton Airport. You could even call his vision sky high.
We hope to be a game changer in the aviation industry in Northeast Ohio to grow this region.
The father of three knows he has plenty to be thankful for. The native New Yorker actually worked in the World Trade Center in 2001. He called off on September 11th to care for his daughter.
Really, I think indirectly spearheaded my wanting, if you will, to promote aviation and aviation safety and security. I may not have known it at the time, but I think over time I started to realize that was probably something that I wanted to ensure the safety of the aviation industry.
That day's events has you sitting here right now.
That's correct. That's correct. Very fortunate to be here.
He's now called Northeast Ohio home since 2007.
I wanted to make sure that my kids had a solid foundation in which to grow up upon, Midwestern hospitality, anything and everything that you could want.
Camacho found everything he wanted in Northeast Ohio and says passengers can find everything they want at Akron-Canton Airport.
We definitely see this airport as one that can coexist with Hopkins Airport to the north for sure, because of the number of potential passengers and customers that would come through this facility.
Akron-Canton Airport currently boasts 4 carriers traveling to 11 nonstop cities. Dallas, Minneapolis, and some West Coast destinations could be coming soon. But expansion won't come at the cost of customer service, which remains top priority, or the trademark sense of ease you feel walking through the door.
The number one selling point for us is that ease of in and out from the parking lot to the gate. And the fact that you can get through the TSA checkpoint within minutes.
Soon, the traveling experience will only improve thanks to a 5-year plan to expand the airfield and a sorely needed gate replacement project.
We're adding additional gates based on, again, that customers have asked for and want.
You up for a little rapid fire?
Sure.
What's more of a challenge, twins or running an airport?
That's a tough question, Dave. Let me think about that one.
Favorite football team?
Dallas Cowboys, believe it or not. Yes, uh-oh.
Just kidding. No, that's okay. Favorite burger, Swenson's or Skyway?
Oh, geez, Swenson's for sure. Galley boy. There's nothing like it.
How's that feel to be a game changer in Northeast Ohio?
Wonderful. Feels really good. Again, the airport, it's all about a team concept, team effort.
And we're both left-handed, but we'll shake with the right.
That's
Thank
right.
you for being a game changer, Ren Camacho.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. Terry, great to see you again, as always.
Thank you.
This is always the great time of the year, isn't it? Just the fresh start.
It was about 15 minutes before the meeting, and I was sitting in my office, and I had butterflies. You know, it never gets old.
I never will forget the day that you were hired, and I remember thinking, man, the Indians got Terry Francona. I mean, you know, that's a game changer. And
Now 7 years later, it's like, man, I got Terry Francona.
you have changed baseball in Cleveland from where it was to where it is now. How proud are you of what you've accomplished?
I'm proud of what we've accomplished because it's a huge we. There are people here, they've made me better. You know, and I'm talking about our front office and ownership. They treat people like you're supposed to.
They do. This city loves you. It seems like you have always loved being in the city. That's what you've told me anyway over the years. Do you still love it? Do you still love being in Cleveland?
I do. I've lived every year downtown. I mean, I grew up an hour and 20 minutes away. It's Midwest. It's the values that come with it. Like when I leave the ballpark at night, you know, I'm on my little hog, I call it, but the scooter, and the policemen are, you know, high-fiving me when we win. I love doing what I'm doing where I'm doing it.
Looking back at the last, let's say, 3 years, is there anything you would have done different in those 3 years?
You know, when you don't get to your final goal, it hurts. But that's why we start up again now.
You've lost a lot of players. A lot of new players have come in. Do you believe in the plan, and what's your message for the city of Cleveland?
I do. I really do. We're trying to be consistently good. Nobody wants to give up a year or 2 or 3. That's not what we're here for. We're here to win.
Great rotation. You got Lindor and Ramirez and other guys. I mean, you still have the horses to ride this to a World Series.
We got players back that we really like. I was amazed at that they were able to do that.
So I want to get a little lighthearted here. Holly Strano has a question for you. She wants to know, do you ever cook for the players?
For the players?
Yeah.
No. For myself, yes. I'm a big stir-fry guy.
Holly wants to cook with you at some point. So
Yeah, as long as it's not 4 in the morning, we can work around that a little bit.
before I let you go, I want to bring this back full circle. You know, like I said, you're a game changer. Why do you think in your career you have been so successful?
I'm a baseball lifer, and I know that. But I've been put in positions where I've been around some extraordinary players, people, ownership, and I'm fortunate, and I feel that way here more than ever.
Tito, thanks for being a game changer.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you very much.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.
But I can tell you're a fun person.
I am. I put the fun in fundraising.
Spend some time with Sonia Winter, and it is clear she knows how to have fun. But it's also clear she is on a mission.
For Cleveland, we need to have big dreams.
Winter has some pretty big ideas as she guides the institution through a pivotal period, next year's centennial, and a major expansion project.
This has been a long process, right? I mean, how many years has this been going on?
Different iterations of this plan have been going on for a long time, over 10 years. So now we're looking at phase 2, and that is the new wing. That's really the meat of the project. We're continuing to raise money for that effort.
Winter has even bigger dreams for the museum's future.
I would love to be able to see us have the museum open for free. That would be my dream.
Wow, is that something that really could happen, though?
It could happen. If we had the right donors and the right focus, it could happen.
Winter knows a thing or two about focus. The first in her family to attend college, she credits a love of reading for much of her success.
Every Wednesday night, my parents would take us to the library. And it was such an amazing family tradition for me. If other families could do that and learn, I think that it would, really help in a society where we're all looking at our phones a lot.
Visiting the museum, you'll be lost in the exhibits and not in your phone. From the jaw-dropping dinosaurs to museum icons like Balto and Lucy, it's no surprise this is a very special place for generations of Northeast Ohio families.
My son learned to walk here at the museum, and so as a parent and as a visitor, I really loved this place. So for me, I feel as if my responsibility is to make sure and ensure that this place remains a community asset for the next 100 years.
We could do a little rapid fire.
Okay.
Are you up for that?
All right.
Dog or cat?
Oh, I'm dog, definitely.
You have a dog.
Two.
Dos.
Two standard poodles.
Your favorite workout?
Spin class at Harness in Ohio City, West 28th.
Okay.
Yeah, with my posse.
Your shout out to the posse. Yeah. Favorite sports team?
The Cavs.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Although I love the Steelers, and I never want to say that.
Why does this always happen
I
to me
know.
in these interviews? You like Broadway musicals, right?
I love them.
Favorite one?
Well, I love Hamilton. I've seen it 3 times.
Can you sing me a little bit?
Alexander Hamilton. No, that's it.
That's all?
No.
And on that note, thank you for being a game changer.
Yes.
As we sit here in this beautiful building, I have to start out with this because it's fresh and it was tough to watch this week. The Cathedral at Notre Dame, just your emotions watching that happen.
It was just a sadness looking at that place engulfed in flames. But there was a part of it that was reassuring as over 400 firefighters descended upon that place to save Our Lady, which is what Notre Dame means. And then people started gathering around, praying and singing and crying. It was very moving.
How about being here in Cleveland?
I absolutely love it. People have been welcoming and warm. Here there's a certain ease of life. And that's taught me because life is short.
Let's tackle some issues now, though. A son of Cuban immigrants.
Right.
How has the situation with the border affected you?
Deeply. This country, its soul, its heart has been one of being a welcoming people. And so it's painful to see the conversation that we see with our immigrants.
Do you think there's an answer to this?
Comprehensive immigration reform. The bishops of the United States have been advocating for that now for years and years.
This is a difficult one to deal with, but I mean, over the last few decades, the Catholic Church certainly has faced countless child sexual abuse accusations. Painful. Pope Francis has promised to end the cover-ups. Is it possible to do that?
Absolutely. It has no place in the church, and it is a cancer It is a tumor that needs to be removed.
You did a review late last year
Right.
locally of the situation. Can you talk more about that and what you found, and is there going to be more information coming out?
We're just wrapping it up. So we had files reviewed to make sure that everything was where it needed to be. We're also looking to develop opportunities for our victims, right? Because my heart goes out to the victims who suffered this stuff.
Do you see any major changes in the future?
I don't see any major doctrinal changes because they are rooted in our faith. I do sense, and I've been sensing it for quite a while now, really my whole priesthood, is a change of tone. And I see a church that is more and more and more facing outward.
It's time for some rapid fire.
Sure, go ahead.
What is your favorite hobby?
I love to watch movies. I think I've watched the Star Wars stuff and the Harry Potter movies over and over.
Favorite thing to do in Cleveland?
Go out to its great restaurants.
Favorite sports team?
Well, I would say the Indians and the Browns and the Cavs. And I've been to all of their games.
That's
which is
the best
great.
answer I've ever gotten in rapid fire. Thank you for being a game changer.
Thank you so much.
The All-Star Games tonight, talk about the years leading up and how much work has gone into this.
It could be 3, 4, 5 years that you're working on getting something to town, and then at least a couple of years in all of the planning, and then you blink and it's done. So that's why enjoying it is really important.
How much pride should Clevelanders take into this moment tonight?
We need to look at things like this and be really proud that we were chosen. These don't happen by accident. They chose us, and they chose us over a lot of other places. And the country and the world are looking at Cleveland through the media. Tens of thousands of people are here looking at Cleveland with fresh eyes. And these are the kinds of events that really spotlight that and that we should be very proud of.
Two Clevelanders sitting here right now, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm in shock that in this span of years, we're going to have the All-Star Game, the NBA All-Star Game, the draft, Women's Final Four. I mean, listen, you could have perhaps predicted this in your mind, but are you a little bit stunned?
Yes. Realistically, if two of them, if we can get two, that's phenomenal for Cleveland. If we get 3, home run. And the fact that we got all 4 that we went after really is pretty remarkable.
The economic impact that you have had on this city clearly shows you are a game changer. I know you don't do it alone, but how much money have you and what you guys do brought into this city?
The iteration of Sports Commission started back in 2000, so almost 20 years. We're just about at 200 events. The economic impact of those nearly 200 events is now well over $800 million. It creates a lot of jobs, a lot of taxes, a lot of great publicity for Cleveland.
There's so many people that could sit there and say, I want to change the image of Cleveland. You thought that and are doing it.
I love selling Cleveland. I love changing people's perception. To me, as long as that keeps happening, I'm thrilled to keep doing what I'm doing.
You up for a little rapid fire?
Sure.
Well, tell everyone, if they don't know already, where you're from.
I grew up in South Euclid, went to Cleveland Heights schools, Ohio State undergrad, Cleveland State grad.
So in the Final Four, it's Cleveland State versus Ohio State. Who are you rooting for?
Based on Cleveland pride, if Cleveland State made it that far, I'd be rooting for the Vikings. But good thing is it's a can't lose.
Favorite hobby?
Distance athletics. I've been a marathoner, an ultra marathoner.
How many marathons?
30.
Favorite book?
The Giving Tree. I read a lot, but it's a kid's book. We read it to our kids, Shel Silverstein book. To me, it's the greatest message. You keep giving, and that's what counts.
And it seems like you've done that. David Gilbert, thanks for being a game
Dave,
changer.
thank you.
You've done a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It sounds too good to be true. An efficient, comfortable transportation option. One that gets you to your destination in record speeds. Imagine Cleveland to Pittsburgh in 9 minutes. Cleveland to Chicago in under 30. That's the future. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies is getting closer to building. And it all starts here in Northeast Ohio.
Can you just explain exactly what Hyperloop is? Floating.
Though it sounds high-tech, The idea has been around for a long time. You would think we'd be talking big bucks for the ride, but surprisingly, we're not. If all goes according to plan, it will also bring a boost to the local economy.
What kind of dollars could we be talking about for the city of Cleveland when this is said and done?
HTT has partnered with a number of local agencies and private companies to make dreams a reality.
How far off are we?
Next steps? A feasibility study wraps up this fall. Across the ocean, the company is already building its first prototype. I got a chance to check it out through virtual reality.
What I'm experiencing right now, this would be very enjoyable, and I would do it, no question asked.
Do we have a crisis in the NFL when it comes to concussions?
Emily Kennedy just might be part of the solution to football's concussion problem. In fact, she's hoping to change the game with help from the Hedgehog. Kennedy and her team at Hegemon, an Akron-based startup, are in the process of creating a helmet safety liner based on those very quills.
When I think of a hedgehog falling,
Yeah.
an NFL player just getting absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the same comparison?
It's science-based in nature, an approach known as biomimicry. The University of Akron is emerging as a leader in this field. In fact, that's how this Massachusetts native ended up here in Ohio. Right now, Hegemon is still in a testing phase, but Emily and her team believe their technology could have uses far beyond just football helmets.
You up for a little rapid fire? All right. Yeah, I have a feeling I know the answer to this first one. Favorite sport? Okay. Favorite thing to do in Northeast Ohio? Favorite lunch spot in Akron? Would you let your children play football right now? Thanks for being a game changer.
For many years, Dr. Steven Soroka believed in the power of one, overcoming tough beginnings to become an accomplished chemist, health educator, and motivational speaker. His message, one person can make a difference. But everything changed 4 years ago. during a speech at Medina High School.
I'm out there 2016 talking about how everyone can make a difference in their world. And in front of 800 people, I coded, fell over, died.
Steve had gone into sudden cardiac arrest, but he was lucky to be in the right place at the right time. School resource officers stepped in immediately.
These two officers, they're on me within 30 seconds. The principal, Andy Brenner, was trained with an AED 2 weeks before.
Then a life flight to the Cleveland Clinic just 20 minutes away.
I'm really lucky. I mean, I died. I shouldn't be here. Well, my whole life changed when I came back to reality.
A reality that soon included another diagnosis, amyloidosis, a disease in which protein is deposited in the heart and causes it to malfunction.
That was a rude awakening because, I thought, okay, I had the big one. I had like the cardiac arrest. I'm back stronger than ever. And then they're going, well, you've got this disease. You got 2 years to live.
The experience prompting a big change in his thinking.
When I was on that helicopter, Dave, I realized I was never the power one. Everything I ever did, I was standing on people's shoulders. I always thought it was me. It was never me.
His doctor suggested he join a clinical trial for a new drug called tafamidis.
This is really a game changer in the true sense. This is the first drug that's available to stop this fatal disease. This is a fatal disease, and this drug is slowing it down. And then in 2019, it was actually FDA approved.
4 years later, Stephen is still going strong and starting a new drug that could potentially reverse the effects of his amyloidosis. And now he's spreading awareness about the disease along with a new message.
You're the power one to start a fire, but you need the power of many to keep that fire burning. And if I can get that fire in people, and we got other people trying to help, we can make a difference. That's why I go around the world trying to be a messenger of hope. We can make a difference, but I can't do it without you.
She has certainly seen a lot in 52 years serving God.
Right through the needle.
But it's the stories Sister Mary Eileen Boyle has heard from refugees that will break your heart.
We had a young woman from the Congo. She was speaking in Swahili, and I heard the word machete, and I was like, oh no. These rebels had come in, and she had been slashed on the arm and slashed on the head. These people did nothing to warrant such violence. That's why we do have people who are coming from situations like that they are victims of torture. So, we just try to help them as much as we can. Yes, it does.
For the past 20 years, she's done her part.
Ah, very good. That's a good speed. Perfect.
To help them get a new start, a chance at fair-paying jobs to support their families.
Our main focus is the training, being able to train people who need to have a skill to be able to give them fair wage jobs with benefits.
Not only are they being trained to sew,
À la droite.
They are learning the difficult and even simple aspects of just having a job.
They might be able to stay with sewing for a long time. Some of our people have. Some have used that as a stepping stone so that they are beginning a work history.
Today, Esperanza Threads is also helping low-income individuals an avenue of possibilities.
Our majority of our people up till now have been the migrant refugees. But we have now reached out to agencies in the area that are helping the homeless, those who are recovering from addiction, returning nonviolent offenders, felons.
4 weeks of training in a structured yet nurturing environment. But there's more to this mission. Environmental justice also taking center stage.
If things can be grown organically, you are helping the environment, but you're helping yourself too.
Esperanza Threads uses organic over conventional cotton, which comes at a cost, but more and more customers are seeing the vision.
They want to support this because it's not just taking a little onesie home and giving it to somebody, that represents giving somebody a chance to be able to start a new life.
An opportunity there for the taking, thanks to our Game Changer.
I like the Maisie Dobbs series. Aladdin's.
I just think there's a little bit of magic that goes into that, but it's real honey, it's real ginger, it's real cinnamon, and our brewmaster Mark Hunger does a great job of creating this incredible brew, and you know, it's become legendary in the Cleveland area.
And the next year they might.
Well, again, it's a little legendary, and I love that people have an opinion about things because it shows how much people love Christmas ale. And I went to our brewmaster and I asked him, does this change year to year? And he swears it doesn't, but you know what? As long as people enjoy the beer, I'm good with it.
It's always the same. That's a myth in Cleveland.
Let's just say it's a controversy. I heard about the opportunity, and having such great respect for this brewery, it is still the 20th largest craft brewery in the United States, and it is pretty legendary.
King has been in the beer business since 1982. Really, he's living the American dream. He got his start loading beer trucks in Milwaukee. Originally from Detroit, he has Midwest roots. Just spending a few minutes with him, you realize he's got a funny bone. Might have something to do with his late friend, Chris Farley.
Chris was a good friend and a great rugby player, by the way, at Marquette University, and was one of my good pals for a couple of years there at Marquette. And one of the funniest guys I have ever seen, and proud about what he was able to accomplish in his life. I've got a lot of stories, some are not good for TV.
But on a serious note, what he can share on TV is how he plans to change the game in a business that has become ultra competitive. When the Conways started Great Lakes, there were about 150 breweries in the U.S. That number, now 8,000.
But you also have to be cognizant of what your core consumer is after. And you have to continually connect with those folks to drive, to skate to where the puck's going. So innovation is key, and also data gives you an awful lot of knowledge. And so you really have to dig deep into the data to find out what styles are growing, what opportunities are out there for packaging as well. We are going to Cannes. We're really excited about that opportunity.
With which beers?
Initially, it will be our flagship Dortmunder and Great Lakes IPA, and also we're coming out with a spring seasonal brand called Mexican Lager with lime.
And more changes to come in late January with the brew pub redesign.
To remain competitive in and around Ohio City, which has become a very hip spot for a lot of other breweries, other gastropubs, we feel it's time to kind of refresh the operation here, both in look and feel of what we want to do. Let's go. Rodenbach. It's a red Flemish brand out of Belgium. Right now, I love Commodore Perry. I wish I could have a beer with Chris Farley right now. It had to be in my back porch with my dad in Michigan. Thank you.
If you start with a really good product, you really don't have to mess with it that much to have a good thing. And honestly, it is mostly just salt a lot of the time.
Salt is so much more than just a seasoning for Chef Jill Vita.
Wars have been fought and won and lives lost over this thing. It's the only rock that we eat.
Since opening her very first restaurant just 3 years ago, Vita has been racking up accolades and honors, soaring to the top of Cleveland's culinary scene. But if you told her that was going to come long ago, she would have taken it with a grain of, you guessed it, salt.
Because I didn't think I was going to be a chef when I was a little one. I had different aspirations. I wanted to be an artist. I just kind of fell into the restaurant business and really loved it, and just kind of wanted to excel and be better, and here we are.
The restaurant scene in Cleveland now is much, much better than it was 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I was there 20 years ago. There's a lot of different people that influenced me and helped me to get where I am.
All that hard work, landing her 2 consecutive James Beard semifinalist nominations, the Oscars of the culinary world.
How about being a woman
Oh yeah.
and have that be the case?
The ladies are showing up and getting their voices out there and starting to be more on the forefront, which I think is awesome.
I find it interesting too, the hard work, and you being from Cleveland, you know what Clevelanders want.
Yeah.
But what you do here isn't necessarily something that Cleveland does.
Correct. In order to push Cleveland, culinarily speaking, I think we have to make people a little uncomfortable and show them that there's other stuff out there.
At Salt, Vita focuses on small plates, and she changes her menu every 10 weeks.
Do you consider yourself a trendsetter?
We just kind of tapped in at the right time, and it's working.
Working so well, it may soon be expanding.
Here on Gamechangers, we like to break news. So let's do that right now. What is next for you?
Well, we definitely want to do another restaurant in Ohio City. There's a ton of growth going on right there. And I think it would be advantageous for us to do something in that area. It's going to happen, I think, probably within the next year or so.
Within the next year?
Yeah.
No matter what comes next, Vita promising to continue to approach food with an artistic vision, giving me a first-hand look.
That's all, just salt and pepper on there.
Salt and pepper, yeah.
You up for a little rapid fire?
Yes, I haven't had my coffee, so I'll
right.
answer as quickly as possible.
Yeah. If you weren't a chef, what would you be?
Veterinarian.
I notice you love tattoos. Right?
I mean, this is nothing.
How many do you have?
33-ish.
33.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dish here that you have made at Salt? Yeah, come on, give it to me.
The lamb belly, which is on the menu right now. I didn't think it would do well, and so I always like those underdogs.
Sounds good.
It is good.
Chef Jill, thank you for being a game changer and
Thanks for
making
having me.
Cleveland a better and tastier place.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.